Hi guys, welcome to a new video series I'm going to be doing for my channel. Something a bit different. I've spoken about it in previous videos, and it's something I've been really wanting to get into, to sort of step away from, or take a large portion of my funds to step away from DeFi. As we know, DeFi is crazy and it's not reliable, it's not sustainable, and everything just seems to be going wrong. Thought I would do something different. This will be just sort of like an intro to what I'm going to be doing and sort of describing, so I can sort of maybe teach you guys. You might not know what this is. You may have heard it in passing if someone's mentioned it, or I've mentioned it in videos before, but what I'm going to be doing is setting up a Binance grid bot to do grid bot trading. You see all these ROI dApps and earning 2%, 1%, 0.5% a day. Those things aren't really sustainable, but with this, it's something that's more in your control. You have control over it, so you can set your own parameters. You can stop it, you can start it whenever you like, you can just choose your own. I'll get into it, you'll see what I mean. So I will be using Binance for my one. You can use other exchanges like Bybit, KuCoin do it, but for this I'm going to be using Binance. I have found that the fees are relatively the same, but with Binance you can use, if you have BNB deposited into your account, you can use that as your trading fees, and you get 25% off the traditional trading fees that actually do occur. Yeah, I will leave a link in the description for Binance, because it has a referral system as well, where if you sign up, I've only just looked into this bit properly today, but if you sign up using my link and you deposit over $50, then we each get a $100 fee, $100 USDT trading fee credit, and that will be very, very useful for what we're going to be doing, which is grid bot trading, which is constantly trading. So it's not like you're opening a trade and then leaving it and then closing it, tomorrow or in a few days' time. For example, these bots can constantly trade continuously, be a possibility of multiple trades per day. So the fees do add up, so this is a perk, you could say, a benefit of having it. So yeah, I'll leave a link to that in the description. So we go back to the home page of Binance, and you go hover over trade and then go to strategy trading. It will take you to this page where you can see all these different bots. Now they've got a spot grid bot, futures grid bot, rebalancing bot, auto invest bot, which is DCA bot, and a few others. We are going to be doing today spot grid. I'm not going to be doing the other ones. I'm not going to be using futures because I don't want to use leverage. I really am just pretty much doing this as a beginner. But I thought I've learnt a lot. I've learnt a lot about it in the last 5-6 days. So I thought I would, cover it. So perhaps teach you a thing or two. A lot of you probably already know this. I'd rather use Binance's trading bot, which is free, rather than pay, because there's Astrobit, there's so many different trading bots you can sign up to. So I'd rather use one that's free and part of an exchange I'm already on. There's somewhere you have to pay like ridiculous amount of fees. I'm not going to go into it. So I thought I'd use one that's technically free. You're just paying for the trading fees, which you would pay for anyway. So with that said, let us kick on. We will click into spot grid, and this takes us to the default one, which is BTC BUSD. What I will be doing, I personally will not be doing Bitcoin for this one. I will be doing BNB to USDT for my one. So we will go over to that. Already got it up. And the reason I'm doing that is, so I'll go over that in a second. So first and foremost, what does a grid bot do? So what you do, they do have an automatic one where they've just sort of set the parameters for you, or you can choose a manual one. But essentially what it is, I'll use Microsoft Paint for this example. So this is the price of Bitcoin right here, right? So this graph is between 20 and 40k, the price of Bitcoin. So right now, say for example this is Bitcoin, right, and that's what's happening when it's trading. That's not what's happening with Bitcoin right now, but say it is. This is more like BNB at the moment. So what it does is when you set up the grid bot, when you set it up you can choose the amount of grids you have. So this one on the automatic one has chosen 68 grids. So that's 68 grids in the price range of BNB of 315 to 398 as the price of BNB. So we'll have 68 grids within that price range, and it will constantly be buying and selling, right? So as an example here, say for example I start the grid here, so it will say for example it buys here. So let's do a buy, and then the price starts to go up. What the bot will do is once it reaches that grid level, it will sell. So that would be a profit right there. And what happens after that? Well, it's continuously buying and selling, right? So it's continuously buying all the time. When it goes down, so the price, when it goes down, the price, it will start to buy, right? So, but then it will start to sell the new buys, if that makes sense. So this buy here, say for example it reaches this level here, it would sell. This buy would then sell here as an example, and then what happens after that is that would automatically reset. It would then buy again, and then it would sell once it whoops, wrong color. It would then sell once the price goes back up past that grid buy entry. I hope that makes sense. So the constantly this bot is buying and selling within your price range that you set up, and you can manually change it. So what you can do as well is you can copy these parameters over to the manual settings, so it's already pre-filled. So you click copy, it then goes over to manual, and then you can edit yourself what ones you want. And one thing to bear in mind is the more grids you have, the more expensive the investment will be, and the more expensive it will require you to invest. So this one with 68 grids, it will cost $800 USDT almost. However, if I reduce the grids, so it's 68 there, say I reduce it to 45, the minimum investment will be 534. This is because it requires less funds to start buying within this price range with the amount of grids we have available that we've actually chosen to that we've actually selected. The more grids you have, the more, and depending how wide the actual price range is that you've chosen, will reflect how much you will need to invest into this grid bot. So I will be doing this from tomorrow. I will be starting it as a sort of like a video series, and I'm going to be running it. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to run it for 7 days and then see how it goes, see how much profit I can make, and go from there. So that's my plan with it. And when you do choose manual, you can have advanced settings as well. So you can do a grid trigger, so you can actually set it as a price that you'd want it to start at. So say for example it's at 345 right now, the price. We can set it to say for example 320, and then it will kick on from there and start. But for me, I'm just going to crack on with it tomorrow, just with the entry price as the market price. I do recommend as well doing a stop trigger as well, so a stop loss. So for example, you don't want to, say for example the price keeps going down, and it goes down to here, right? Price goes down to here. It would then, once it reaches past that your price range, the bot will stop doing anything. It will just completely stop. And the same will happen as well if it goes past your price range that you've selected. So if it goes under 315.8, the bot will not buy. It will only buy and sell within this price range. So that's where you would put a stop loss because you are constantly buying and the price is not going up to be able to sell. So that is the element of risk in this. So there is risk, of course. You can constantly buy without the price going up to sell. So bear that in mind. So I hope my little diagram kind of made sense a little bit. So you're constantly, the bot is, when it goes down, it's buying from your grids, the amount of grids you've selected, and when it goes back up, it would sell individually. Each one would be its own individual sell, and then it would reset as a new buy when it comes back down again, and then it buys again, and it's, you know, it's continuous, it's constant. That's my mini tutorial of how grid bots work. Again, you can use futures if you want, but I'm not using leverage. I'm just, you know, using straight flash, just cash itself. Once the deal is done, it's done. So that's what I will be doing. I don't want to put too much risk in, and, you know, like I said, this is my next sort of venture I'm going through, my next sort of plan I want to do with. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I tell you what, guys, coming out of these ROI dApps and doing something like this, because this is, you know, you look at an exchange, it's Binance, you think, oh, very limited on what you can do. This is a trading bot we can use. This is what, you know, this is the basic, really basic trading bot, but the end goal is the same. You buy low and you sell high. That's what any bot does. That's its end goal, to make profit. And it's constantly, that's the plan anyway, it will constantly make profit. So I hope that has helped if you are looking to get into something a bit more, you know, reliable, quote unquote, something away from DeFi projects, and something you can maybe set up on as a side, you could call this a side project, you know. So I hope that's helped, and give me some feedback in the comments on if you are into this already, or if you are thinking to get into it. Maybe I can answer a couple of questions. I'll do a video tomorrow where I've set this bot up. We will go from there, and I'll set it up I'll do it for 7 days, and then we'll go from there and see how much profit I've made in 7 days. And I will be putting 500 in total, so we'll see how much we do, see how much we get from that 500, because this is kind of a test run before I put a bit more in, see how it goes. Oh yeah, one point I forgot to mention before I go is this second point, which says grids. It says arithmetic or geometric. I will be choosing geometric, so it will give me a flat profit of 0.31% per cell that I get. Otherwise, arithmetic does fluctuate. There are, you know, descriptions on what everything is as you can see, everything keeps popping up, so they do give the relevant information you need before you actually press the create button. But that's it, that's what I'm planning to do. So I hope that's a nice intro for you, for what this sort of grid bot is on an exchange. An exchange is not just boring. There are like nice elements to it like this that you can utilize rather than going on these paid sort of bots. This is fairly recent, I believe, from Binance. This is, you know, it's not extremely new, but it's relatively new. Hope that's helped, guys. Give me your feedback in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.